All right. This Torah portion talked about the death of Jacob. So the Haftorah, which is a portion usually from the prophets or from the writings, is told afterwards, is read afterwards in the synagogue, right at the very end. And it usually is something to do on the same subject or the same topic as the Torah portion. So appropriately, this Haftorah portion is talking about when King David died. And King David didn't exactly give blessings. So let's go and see what it is. Okay, ready? VaYikru v'yamei David lamut. The days of King David came close to death. VaYetzav et Shlomo, and he commanded his son Shlomo. And he said, Anochi olech b'derech kol haaretz. I'm going the way of all mankind. People died. That's it. Since Adam, nobody lives forever. V'chazakta ve'yita le'ish. Be strong and be a assertive person. V'shamarta et mitmir Hashem. You should do the commandments of God. L'lechet b'dorachav, to walk in God's ways. L'shmor chukav, to do his statutes. Misposav, and his commandments. Mishpatav, and his laws. Ve'erotav, and his testimonies. Kakatuv, like it is written in the Torah of Moshe. Laman taskil, in order that you should be wise and you should know what to do. Et kol asher taseh, in everything that you do. In other words, you do the right thing, the right time, the right place, the right way. Et kol asher tafneh sham, everything that you turn to should be successful. Laman yakim Hashem et tavoro, in order that God will fill his word. God wants to fulfill his promise. Asher diber alai, that God promised me. David is saying to his son Solomon, God promised me, im yishmu bonecha darkam, if your offspring will just keep the way of the Torah, to go in front of me in truth, b'kol levavam, with all their heart, or b'chol nafsham, with all their soul, lemor, then I will say, lo yikares lecha ish, none of your offspring will be cut off, me'al kisei Israel, from the throne of Israel. In other words, there'll always be someone from your tribe, from David, will be the leaders of Israel. And also, okay, that's one way of serving God, by doing what God wants and doing good, increasing good. Also, now there's another way of serving God, and that's getting rid of the bad. King David is saying to King Solomon, now you're starting a new start, a new beginning. Now I want to tell you, I had a lot of ministers that were very good, but they really deserved to be killed. And I didn't kill them for very different, various reasons. A lot of them, I needed them. They were good warriors. They did their job, but in their hearts, they had planned to depose me. And okay, so now we're going to take care of them. Ready? You know, King Solomon, my son, you know what Yoav ben Surah. Who was Yoav ben Surah? That was his what is it called? His chief of staff. He was the chief general, and he fought battles. Fantastic, excellent warrior, and he was the one who secured King David from all of his enemies. But he made a big mistake. Asher asal l'shnei sarei tzavot Yisrael, that Yoav ben Surah, he took things into his own hands a couple of times. Two of them are fatal. He killed Avner ben Ner, and he killed Amasha ben Yeter by Yargim. And when King Saul was appointed to be the king over Israel, and at the same time, but King Saul did things that disqualified him, incredibly minor things, but it disqualified him from being a king, because the king has to be 100% perfect. So it disqualified him. King Saul he went chasing after King David. He came to because David was also crowned to be king, but in secret. He couldn't advertise it. So his King Saul's chief of staff his head general was called Avner ben Ner. And after King Saul was killed, King David said, let's make peace. And Avner came to make peace, and Yoav ben Surya went out to meet Avner and he killed him. And it was a similar story also with Amasha ben Yeter. What happened with Amasha ben Yeter? King David had a son called Absalom, and Absalom rebelled against King David, and he was very successful. And all of Israel followed after Absalom. As just an amazing miracle, the King David had to flee. He had to run away for his life. There were very few people that helped him, but a few people did help him. Nevertheless, a lot of the people thought that Absalom was really right. They didn't hate King David as much as they loved Absalom. They had them convinced that he was a tremendously charismatic and successful and genius person, Absalom. His minister of war was Amasa. And King David afterwards said, after he defeated Absalom, said to Amasa, let's make peace. Amasa came the same way as Avner ben Ner came, and Yoav made another trick and he killed Amasa also. He said, because he killed what he did to the two great warriors of Israel, Avner ben Ner and Amasa ben Yeter, and he killed them. And he put the blood of war in the time of peace. And therefore he put the blood of war when he on his the blood of war on his own belt, on his loins, and on his shoes that are on his feet. What did he do? Yoav, how did he kill this Amasa? He put his sword in such a way that when he bent down, it would fall out of the sheath. And he went to meet Amasa, and he bent down to tie his shoes, and his sword fell out on the ground. And he lifted up his sword as though to put it back in the sheath with one hand. The other hand, he grabbed a hold of Amasa's beard as though to kiss him. And instead of putting the sword back into its sheath, he stabbed Amasa and killed him. Asita b'chachmatcha, he said, so now King David is saying, do with your wisdom. V'lo toret sevoti b'shalom, don't let him die a peaceful death. Kill him. Then there is the children of Barzillai HaGiladi. Barzillai HaGiladi was a very old Jew that when King David was running away from Absalom and the whole country was with Absalom, he was with King David and he helped him. With the children of this Barzillai HaGiladi, do kindness, and you should allow them to eat at your table, because they befriended me when I was running away from Absalom, your brother. Absalom was the son of King David. King Solomon was also the son of King David. Behold, Imcha, now I have another person for you to kill. Who? Shimi ben Gera. Shimi ben Gera, the son of Yemini. Me Bachurim. Bahu Kalali Kalalat Nesman. He was one of the choice people of Israel, and he gave me a big curse when I was coming to Machanayim. Bahu Yarad Likrasi Yardena. He went on the other side of the Jordan, and he cursed me. Now, Shimi ben Gera says that he was the head of the Sanhedrin. These people were top people, but they all hated David. That's the book of Psalms. King David wrote about his enemies. His enemies were these high, right, Torah Jews. And I promised to God that im amitcha b'cherev, that I won't kill him with a sword. He came afterwards, after I returned back, and he tried to make peace with me. And I said, don't worry, I'm not going to kill you. I won't kill you. But now, al tenakeu, don't let him go. Don't forget this. Don't clean it off. Because you're a wise person. You know what you should do to him. You should make him die in a bloody death. And Yishka, David lied with his fathers, and he was buried in the Ir David. Here also it doesn't say by David that he died. It just says he died with his fathers and he was buried. And that's what we say in Kiddush Levana. We say, David Melech Yisrael Chai v'Kayam. David is still alive. the days that King David ruled over Israel were 40 years. In Hebron, he ruled 7 years. And Yerushalayim, he ruled for 33 years. Really, he ruled for 33 and a half years. It was really 40 and a half years, but the 1.5 year that he had to run away from Absalom, so that wasn't counted. V'shlomo Yashab, and King Solomon sat on the throne of King David, his brother, his father. V'taken malchuto ma'od, and King David's rulership was very, very firm and well established. This is what you're going to hear on Shabbat in the afternoon in how do you say, the most abbreviated way that we could do it, with still going over the simple meaning. God bless you all. At God willing, tomorrow, 8:15 in the morning, we are going to learn Chassidut. We'll finish the Devar Malchut that we started with the Rebbe, and how that we almost finished today. How this thing of VaYechi Yaakov is giving us power to transform this exile that we're in into redemption. Have a good day. Hope to see you tomorrow morning, 8:15. Mashiach now.